Hi, teacher. So, for our final video, we're gonna talk about the topic that we're gonna talking about of the last period with Sammy, that is pop and indie pop. So, let's start. The pop music genre has existed before the 1940s. Pop music means the shortening of popular. The pop music is a genre that isn't exact because pop music means the popular music in the moment, not just a music genre in specifically. So I'm gonna talk about some famous music artists that make the popular music what it is now. Madonna, considered the queen of pop, that this has become the icon of music genre because she being an artist that is clearly successful, she has been so controversial because was one of the first artists, global artists that has spoke about topics that no one has done, like feminism, racism, violations, something that has not because we don't want to, it's because what society is a label women cannot say. So she can make what iconic is she? Talking more about the clean production that she has in every single album that she has, but she clearly changed everything about her productions and a lot of synthesizers. She made that classic sounds of the 80s and 90s that makes so vintage, and that's why I think Madonna is so iconic. Mariah Carey, I think one of the best vocalists in history. She's scoring almost impossible notes like G6, G7, or BB5. This artist is one of the few that managed the top one in 100 Billboard. The production of her songs and live performance, she used Boss amplification technology to make his whistle notes sound louder and more clean. Okay, last but not least, Dua Lipa built off the one promises of the music. His last studio music album, Fear Nostalgia, is a work of art in production and lyric. It's produced by Jeff Basker, who used a great mix of bass, percussion, and systemation to produce that nostalgic effect that we talk about with Madonna, that 80s music causes, and using an effect that do a voice sound clean and serene of all songs.
Indie pop. What is indie means? Indie music is a type of music in which the artists don't have commercial support. The lyrics of indie style songs are usually about the personal life of the artist since they see it as a form of therapy. The indie style as being from electronic soul of Frank Ocean to the lyrical and melancholy of the Smiths. It's hard to define indie since it just means independent. There are so many different genres of indie music like indie pop, indie rock, indie hip hop, indie fusion, metal, jazz, but now we talk about indie pop. As you can see in this are some album covers or singles of some pop artists. They are usually very simple, like an image in text. Even so, they are still cute. Indie pop style. Indie pop is a music genre and subculture that combines guitar pop with DIY ethic in opposition to the style and tone of mainstream pop music. DIY means like doing yourself, like the indie pop artists can do whatever they want in their own way. Indie pop is a genre characterized by pop conventions and structure and melodic, lighthearted sound. The artists generally use typical rock instruments like guitar, bass, keyboard, piano, and drums, and obviously vocals. Although some artists deviate from this, sometimes including electronics, strings, or even a swing guitar altogether. Now, indie pop artist Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd were an English rock band formed in London in 1965, gaining an early following as one of the first British psychedelic groups. They were discussed for their extended composition, sonic experimentation, philosophical lyrics, and elaborate live shows. Indie pop was born mainly in England, where the same band emerged, which led us to the fact that Pink Floyd was influenced by other artists of the moment, but also influenced artists that emerged later. There is a album of the Pink Floyd, and as you can see, all know the album, but so many people don't know that this picture comes from comes for a Pink Floyd album, and there's the most popular album, and there's the most popular single. And this was a little bit about indie pop. Thank you.